Alright guys, welcome back, and I think it's time to check in on Snow White and the 7 digitally created nightmare fuel-induced monsters, and Rachel Zegler, the not Snow White princess. This has just been a train wreck from the start. To be honest, this is a film that I don't think ever needed to be made, and again, I have been on record, and I'll say it again just one more time, the live-action remakes need to stop, because this is something that I don't think anybody is truly asking for. Very few people actually enjoy. Most people just take their kids to go see this slop because it's just the next thing in theater to consume their time and kill an afternoon, or desperately get your kids out of your hair for a couple hours. The films themselves are not good. I will stand on this hill until the day I die, because the fact of the matter is these live-action movies are never good compared to the originals. They don't have the magic, they don't have the charm, and they certainly don't have the soundtrack or the singing and the vocals that the original cartoons have. That being said, from that park place, Snow White crashes 70% in second weekend box office drop. Rachel Zegler and Disney on track to lose #1 spot to patriotic action movie A Working Man. Now, A Working Man, I do believe, is that Jason Statham movie, which I think has terrible reviews right now. I mean, absolutely awful reviews. So for them to lose the #1 spot in their second weekend to this movie is kind of like awful. Like, if we're being objective about it, forget about the fact that many people just want to dunk on Rachel Zegler and make fun of the movie. Just be objective for a second. A Disney live-action remake with this much press, the press tours and all the media buzz around it, even the negative coverage of it, negative attention, still attention, right? The fact of the matter is, to lose out in its second weekend to a Jason Statham movie. Again, if you like Jason Statham, no shame, I get it. We all have our guilty pleasures. He makes bad movies. He's like Nicolas Cage. He just makes bad film after bad film after bad film. And yes, I'm sure some of them are enjoyable, but they're not great quality films. Disney spent over $250 million producing Snow White, and that's before marketing. They jetted Rachel Zegler around the world for months, filled social media with carefully curated promo spots, and propped up their star through puff piece interviews and choreographed red carpet moments. They worked overtime to repair the damage Zegler caused by mocking the original film. Yeah, that wasn't smart. Trashing the idea of love stories and framing her version of Snow White as a symbol of activism, and it still wasn't enough. Says David just beat Goliath with a pipe wrench. This is brutal. I mean, again, it's to be expected. You had people like Elon Musk mocking it, making fun of it, calling it woke. Generally on social media, anybody talking about this film, if you notice, if you spend any time on Twitter at all, there's the Stan accounts, which are those anonymous user accounts that they share, they only post from a specific celebrity, a singer, like a Sabrina Carpenter or Rachel Zegler, these kind of people, Lady Gaga. So their profile picture is of this celebrity, and all they post, I swear these people are not real human beings, is information about celebrities. I love her, she's mother, she's this, she's that, just weird people. And shit like this is not helping Rachel Zegler at all. Looking like a creepy ghoul who doesn't know how to act human, Freely Ashley shares this on Twitter and says she literally looks like she's trying to lure prey into her web. It's the slow, measured head tilt for me. What dream? Just look at the way she rotates her head around. This is somebody who doesn't know how to act natural. I'm talking Nepo baby on steroids. Somebody who's been in acting probably her entire life around fake people. And it's just insane. And of course you have articles like this from The Independent saying Snow White film review bombed on IMDb after Rachel Zegler's smear campaign. Wow, okay. So apparently if you don't like live action remakes, if you don't like what slop Disney's been putting out, if you don't like the fact that they decided to go with 7 CGI nightmare fueled dwarves instead of actual little people for the movie, if you don't like the fact that Rachel Zegler is an insufferable narcissistic twat, and that everything about this film looks bad, from the press coverage to the Palestine versus Israel people fighting over Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler, which is like two retards fighting. I can't stand that conversation. If you don't like any of that, apparently you're just a troll who wanted to downvote the film. So Vanity Fair, I'm not going to read this because they paywalled it, says Snow White's failure has turned Rachel Zegler into a scapegoat and an icon. To which Pedro Pascal actually referred to her as an icon. This is absolutely hilarious. Pedro Pascal calls Rachel Zegler an icon as he shows support amid Snow White backlash. Now, you remember a couple years back with Pedro Pascal on The Mandalorian, right? Gina Carano got destroyed over trying to tell people not to dehumanize each other over the COVID vaccine, and he basically noped out. He's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not going to support you. I'm just going to stay quiet and stay in my lane over here. You stay in yours. But Rachel Zegler, he's like, icon. Okay. Well, first off, I think Pedro's in the closet, but that's a whole other story. Makes sense that he's using words like icon, talking about somebody who's half his age who, yeah. Brittany Hugo Boom on Twitter says, where was this interview with Gina Carano? You coward. Exactly. But here's where we are today. This is absolutely hilarious. Is Rachel Zegler suing Disney over the Snow White controversy? This could get really juicy. Now, I'm not sure where this information has originated from. This could be pure rumor and speculation, but if not, this is absolutely fantastic stuff. Rumors are swirling that Rachel Zegler may be suing Disney due to the ongoing Snow White controversy. Reportedly, she has been dropped from multiple projects. I hope so. Thank God. With several studios allegedly cutting ties with her following the backlash. Now, Zegler and her team are reportedly exploring legal options against Disney and other major studios. Reports suggest that Rachel Zegler is considering suing Disney after allegedly being blacklisted by multiple Hollywood studios. Following the backlash surrounding with Snow White, many studios reportedly dropped her from projects. Oh, they just repeated this, it looks like. They allegedly removed her from several productions, including the planned Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. God, that would be terrible. Oh my God, please tell me that's not really going to happen. Oh my God. Wasn't there a rumor that it was going to be like an all-female Pirates of the Caribbean with, I think, the chick that played Harley Quinn as the main character? Oh my God. In response, Zegler and her team are said to be preparing legal action against Disney, Sony, Paramount, and Lionsgate for allegedly terminating her contracts without justification. I don't know about that. I think there's probably some, not morality clause, but you get what I'm saying. Something about basically, if you make us look really, really bad, we can terminate you, no questions asked. However, there has been no official confirmation regarding these claims. The development follows public criticism from Jonah Platt, son of Snow White producer Mark Platt. He blames Zegler for damaging the film's box office performance. In a now deleted Instagram comment, Jonah claimed his father had to travel to New York in 2023 to personally address Zegler's social media post. He accused the actress of bringing personal politics into the film's promotion, which led to the controversy that overshadowed the movie. He also argued that her actions harmed the livelihoods of many who worked on the film. I think that's legitimate. Like, if we're talking financially having negative effects due to her being a complete retard and not knowing when to shut her mouth, that's very, very possible. Jonah Platt further stated, free speech does not mean you're allowed to say whatever you want in your private employment without repercussions. He emphasized that thousands of people worked on Snow White, and Zegler's actions allegedly jeopardized their efforts. Meanwhile, Zegler has faced continued backlash for her outspoken political statements. In addition to her Snow White remarks, she also criticized Donald Trump and his supporters. Yes, she said that she hopes that no Trump supporter ever knows peace ever again. So guys, this is fantastic. This would be the best thing in 2025 if this movie, which is completely tanking, just continues to bomb, and then she turns around and sues Disney and wins. That would be like two birds, one stone. That would be beautiful. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about all this insanity. Like I said, I think that this is wonderful. It couldn't happen to better people, and I will see you guys on the next one. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have two channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.